Hello, class number 2. This is your Monday spelling um, words. And when I recorded this video, I still had not um, gotten back your spelling test for last week. So I will, as soon as I get them and correct them, I'll send you a picture to let you know how you did. So I'm only gonna give you, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna give you 8 words today. So depending on how you did on the on Friday's test, if everyone did well, which I hope everyone did, then I will give you new words. If we didn't do that well, then I'm gonna take the same words that you missed and add them to this list on Wednesday for this week's spelling test. All right. So we finished section N4 and we're gonna start a new section N5. So you're on a new page. Make sure your page inside your spelling book is folded. You want to align, that way you can write 2 columns of spelling words. So, and on the top you're going to write section N5. Section N5 is what you're going to write. Today is October 5th of 2020, 10/5/20, but you don't need to write that in your spelling book unless you don't have a spelling book and you're using line paper to do your spelling words. All right, section N5. Okay, so your first new word is not an English word. This is it is an English word, but not an American English. This is a British word. So it's got a multi-letter phonogram that doesn't say its sound. I'm going to say it the way we say it, and then I'm not good with accents. So I'm going to try and say it with a British accent, okay? The word is been. How have you been all this time? Been. We think to say bane. Bane? How have you been? That sounds weird to me, but I don't even know if that's British, but I'm trying to say it so you can hear the multi-letter phonogram in there. It doesn't say its sound. It's a E, double E, always says E. Been. So you underline the multi-letter phonogram, E, double E, always says E. What do we do with words that do not say their sound? We put in X over them because it doesn't say its sound. Your next word, number 2, is capture. 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 We say capture, but we think to spell capture. Okay, there's no multi-letter phonograms in here. Capture. 2 syllables. That's supposed to be an R. Cap. First sound. Capture. This vowel has 3 sounds. A, U, Capture. A, U. It's saying the second sound. Capture. A, U, So the silent E, rule number 1, tells the to say U. Okay? Your next spelling word, number 3, is broke. Broke. The fish was so large, it broke his fishing pole. Broke. 1 syllable. Okay? This vowel has 3 sounds. A, O, U. Bro, A, O. It's a second sound. The silent E is rule number 1, is telling it the to say O. It's telling the vowel to say its second sound. Number 4, deed. Deed. 1 syllable. Helping someone is a good deed. 1 syllable. Oops, I did that badly. And we have an E, double E, always says E. Deed. Your next word, number 5, I believe, is exhaust. X, okay, we say exhaust, but we think to spell exhaust. Exhaust, but we say exhaust. Exhaust. We can never exhaust the wisdom of God. Exhaust. What does exhaust mean? To use up, to run out. I am exhausted. That means I ran out of energy. To run out. We can never exhaust the wisdom of God. Okay. I'm sorry, but that looks that doesn't look very good, does it? Okay. The first syllable, eh, is the first sound. We don't need to do anything. Exhaust. Okay. When we say exhaust, do you hear the H? Do you hear the you don't hear it, exhaust. So when you have a letter that does not make a sound, how do we mark it? We double underline. Exhaust. And we have a multi-letter phonogram. You should know what that is. All that you may not use at the end of an English word. Why? Because English words do not end in U. Multi-letter phonogram that only has one sound, ah. Your next word, number 6, is inspect. Inspect. Listen, there's a consonant in there that's really hard to hear. Inspect. Inspect. Clean your room. I will inspect it later. Inspect. Okay. This vowel says its first sound, I. E is the first sound of E. And C has two sounds, cuss. And it's the first sound. We don't need to mark any of them. So there's nothing to mark. Right? That is 4, 5, 6. Number 7. The word is practice. 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 2 syllables. Prac. Prac. How do we know that we don't use this? We know that because the vowel says its first sound, so we don't use it with the first sound. Prac. Is the first sound of a. We don't mark it. Practice. This says its first sound, I. So why do we have a silent E? Well, there's 5 rules when to use a silent E. The first one is to tell the vowel to say its second sound, and it's not saying its second sound. Second rule is U and V take a 2. English words do not end in U or V, so it's rule number 2 for silent E, and there's no U and V. Rule number 3, silent E is there to tell the G and K to say their second sound. Not C, S and J, okay? So K is saying its second sound. Practice. It's rule number 3. Rule number 3. And you can put a little line under the C if you like. I like to. Number 3, rule number 3. Okay. Number 8. The word is, listen carefully because it's going to sound a lot like one of these words that I've already given you. The word is expect. expect. It sounds really close to inspect, but it's expect. So when I give this to you on the spelling test, you need to pay close attention to which word I'm giving you. X, E is saying its first sound, we don't mark it. Pect, E is saying its first sound also, we don't mark it. K is saying its first sound, we don't need to do anything. So we don't mark anything. Those are your 8 words. You should know how to read them. You should be able to use them in a sentence. Although I don't ask you to write sentences with your spelling words, when you read this, try to use it in a sentence to see if you understand how to use it. I have been ill. I was not able to capture the bear. I broke your vase. She did a good deed. Running a mile will exhaust me. I will inspect your room to see if it's clean. I will practice my spelling words 6 times, writing them 6 times each today. Expect. I expect all my students to do their best. Okay? So I want you to be able to read it, know how to use it in a sentence, understand the meaning, and how to spell it. All right? So that is your spelling lesson for today. Practice writing your spelling words. You know, they're getting harder. So if 6 times is not enough for you to remember how to spell it, try writing it 10 times. All right? And that will make a big difference on your spelling test. It will, because you know that last year when you were here, I was having you do that and you guys were getting 100% on your spelling test. So we'll see you on Wednesday for your next spelling words. Bye-bye.